Student, welcome. Myself, Professor Durgesh Kumar Kotangle, Assistant Professor, Computer Science, Government VYT, PG Autonomous College, Durg. Today lecture is MSc 4th semester Computer Science, paper 1st, Software Engineering, and Unit 3rd, Software Matrix. Software measurement in software engineering. To assess the quality of the engineered product or system and to better understand the models that are created. Some measures are used. These measures are collected throughout the software development life cycle with an intention to improve the software process on a continuous basis. Measurement help in estimation, quality control, productivity assessment, and project control throughout a software project. Also, measurement is used by software engineers to gain insight into the design and development of the work products. In addition, measurement assists in strategic design making as a project proceeds. Software measurements are of two categories, normally direct measures and indirect measures. Direct measures include software processes like cost and effort applied and product like lines of code procedure, proceeds, execution and speed and other defects that have been reported. Indirect measures include products like functionality, quality, complexity, reliability, maintainability, and many more. Generally, software measurement is considered as a management tools which, if conducted in a effective manner, help the project manager and the entire software team to take decisions that lead to successful completion of the project. Management process is characterized by a set of 5 activities which are listed below. First is formulation. This perform measurement and develop appropriate metrics for software under consideration. Collection. This collects data to drive the formulated metrics. Analysis. This calculates metrics and the use of mathematical tools. Interpretation. This analyzes the metrics to attain insight into the quality representation. And fifth, feedback. This communicates recommendation derived from product metrics to the software team. Note that collection and analysis activity drive the measurement process. In order to perform this activity effectively, it is recommended to automate data collection and analysis, establish guidelines and recommendation for each matrix, and use statistical techniques to interact external quality features and internal product attributes. Basics of management. Management is the action of measuring something. It is the assignment of a number to a characteristic of a object or event, which can be compared with other object or event. Formally, it can be defined as the process by which number or symbols are assigned to attributes of entities in the real world in such a way as to describe them according to clearly defined rules. Measurement in software engineering. Software engineering involves mapping, casting, planning, modeling, analyzing, specifying, designing, implementing, testing, and maintaining software products. Hence, measurement play, plays a significant role in software engineering. A rigorous approach will be necessary for measuring the attributes of a software product. For most of the development projects, we fails to set measurable target for a software products. We fail to understand and quantify the component cost of software projects. We do not quantify or predict the quality of the products we produce. Thus, for controlling software products, measuring the attributes is necessary. Every measurement action must be motivated by a particular goal or need that is clearly defined and easily understandable. The measurement objectives must be specific, tied to what managers, developers, and users need to know. Measurement is required to assess the status of the project, product, process, and resources. In software engineering, measurement is essential for the following three basic objective activities: to understand what is happening during development and maintenance, to control what is happening in the project, and third, to improve process and goals. The representational theory of measurement. Measurement tells us the rules laying the groundwork for developing and reasoning about all kinds of measurement. It is the mapping from the empirical world to the formal relational world. Consequently, a measure is the number or symbol assigned to an entity by this mapping in order to characterize an entity. Empirical relational. In the real world, we understand the thing by comparing them, not by assigning number to them. For example, to compare height, we use the term taller than, higher than. Thus, this taller than, higher than are empirical relations for height. We can define more than one empirical relation on the same set. For example, x is the taller than, y, y are much taller than z. Empirical relation can be unary, binary, ternary, etc. So x is tall, y is not tall are unary relations. X is taller than y is a binary relation. Empirical relation is in the real world can be mapped to a formal mathematical world. Mostly this relation reflect the personal performance. Some of the mapping or rating technique used to map these empirical relations to the mathematical world is follow. Likert scale. Here the user will be given a statement upon which they have to agree or disagree. For example, this software performing well. In show the table two, so here show the two tables in fill in the table. Forced ranking. Order the given alternative from 1 best to n worst. For example, rank the following 5 software modules according to their performance. Module A, Module B, Module C, Module D in ranking. The rule of mapping. To perform the mapping, we have to specify domain, range as well as the rules to perform the mapping. For example, domain real world. In range, mathematical words such as integer, real number, etc. Rules for measuring the height shoes to be worn or not. Similarly, in case of the software measurement, the checklist of the statement to be included in the lines of code to be specified. The representational conditions of measurement. The representational condition asserts that a measurement mapping M must map entities into numbers and empirical relations into numerical relations in such a way that the empirical relation preserve and are preserved by numerical relations. For example, the empirical relation taller than is mapped to the numerical relations less than x is taller than y if and only if mx is greater my. Since there can be many relations on a given set, the representational condition also has implications for each of these relations. For the unary relation it tells, we might have the numerical relation x is greater than 50. Then the representational condition required that for any measure m, x is tall if and only if may mx greater than 50. Key status of format measurement. The key status of measurement can be summarized as follows. So in this diagram, measurement and models. Models are useful for interpreting the behavior of the numerical elements of the real world entities as well as measuring them. To help the measurement process, the model of the mapping should also be supplemented with a model of the mapping domain. A model should also specify how these entities are related to the attributes and how the characteristics relate. Measurement is of two types. Direct measurement. These are the measurement that can be measured without the involvement of any other entity or attributes. The following direct measurement are commonly used in software engineering: length of source code by LOC, duration of testing purpose by elapsed time, number of defects discovered during the testing process by counting defects, and last, the time of programmers spend on a program. Second is indirect measurement. These are measurements that can be measured in term of any other entity or attributes. The following indirect measures are commonly used in software engineering. So in here, program coding, some is read. Measurement scale. Measurement scale are the mapping used for representing the empirical relation system. It is mainly of 5 types. First is nominal scale. It displays the element in a classification scheme. The classes will not be ordered. Each and every entity should be placed in a particular class or category based on the value of the attributes. It has two major characteristics. First is the empirical relation system consists only of different classes. There is no notion of ordering among the classes. Any distinct numbering or symbolic representation of the classes is an acceptable measure, but there is no notion of magnitude associated with the numbers or symbols. Second, ordinal scale. It places the elements in an ordered classification scheme. It has the following characteristics. The empirical relation system consists of a class that are ordered with respect to the attribute. Any mapping that preserve the ordering is acceptable. The numbers represent ranking only. Hence, addition, subtraction, and other arithmetic operations have no mapping. Third is interval scale. This scale captures the information about the size of the interval that separate the classification. Hence it is more powerful than the nominal scale and the ordinal scale. It has the following characteristics. It preserve order like the ordinal scale. It preserve the difference but not the ratio. Addition and subtraction can be performed on this scale but not multiplication or division. If an attribute is measurable on a interval scale and m dash are mapping that satisfy the representation condition, then we can always find two numbers a and b, such as m equal to a m dash plus b. Fourth is ratio scale. This is the most useful scale of measurement. Here an empirical relation exists to capture ratios. It has the following characteristics. It is a measurement mapping the preserve ordering the size of the intervals between the entities and the ratio between the entities. There is a zero element representing total block of the attributes. The measurement mapping must start at 0 and increase at equal intervals known as units. And last is all the arithmetic operations can be applied. Here mapping will be of the form m equal to a m dash, where a is a positive scalar. Fifth, absolute scale. On this scale, there will be only one possible measure for a attribute. Hence, the only possible transformation will be the identity transformation. It has the following characteristics. The measurement is made by counting the number of entities in the entity set. The attribute always take the form number of occurrence of x in the entity. There is only one possible measurement mapping, namely the actual count. And last, all arithmetic operation can be performed on the resulting count. Software measurement. The framework for software measurement based on three principles. First is classifying the entities to be examined. In software engineering, mainly three classes of entity exist. They are processes, products, resources. All of these entities have internal as well as external entities. Internal attributes are those that can be measured purely in terms of the process, product, or resources itself. For example, size, complexity, dependency among models. External attributes are those that can be measured only with respect to its relation with the environment. For example, the total number of failures experienced by a user, the length of time it takes to search the database and retrieve information. The different attributes that can be measured for each of the entities are as follows. Processes. Processes are collection of software related activities. Following are some of the internal attributes that can be measured directly for a process. The duration of the process are one of its activities. Then second, the effort associated with the process are one of its activities. And last, the number of incidents of a specified type as arising during the process are one of its activities. The different external attributes of a process are cost, controllability, effectiveness, quality, and stability. Product are not only the item that the management is committed to deliver, but also any artifact or document produced during the software life cycle. The different internal product attributes are size, effort, cost, specification, length, functionality, modularity, reuse, redundancy, and synthetic correctness. Among this size effort, the costs are relatively easily to measure than the others. The different external product attributes are usability, integrity, efficiency, testability, reusability, portability, and interoperability. These attributes describe not only the code but also the other documents that support the development effort. Resources. There are entities required by a process activity. It can be any input for the software production. It include personnel, materials, tools, and methods. The different internal attributes for the resources are age, price, size, speed, memory size, temperature, etc. The different external attributes are productivity, experience, quality, usability, reliability, comfort, etc. Then second, determining relevant measurement goals. A particular measurement will be useful only if it helps to understand the process or one of its resultant product. The improvement in the process or products can be performed only when the project has clearly defined goal for processes and products. A clear understanding of goals can be used to generate suggest metrics for a given project in the context of a process maturity framework. The goal question matrix GQM paradigm. The GQM approach provides a framework involving the following three steps: listing the major goal of the development or maintenance project, driving the questions from each goal that must be answered to determine if the goals are being met, decide what must be measured in order to be able to answer the questions adequately. To use GQM paradigm, first we express the overall goals of the organization. Then we generate the questions such that the answer are known so that we can determine whether the goal are being met. Later, analyze each questions in terms of what measurement we need in order to answer each questions. Typical goals are expressed in terms of productivity, quality, risk, customer satisfaction, etc. Goal and questions are to be constructed in terms of their audience. To help generate the goals, questions, and metrics, Basils and Rombach provided a series of templates. Purpose: to characterize, evaluate, predict, motivate, etc. The process, product, mode, metrics, etc. In other, to understand, assess, manage, engineers, learn, improve, etc. Example. Same then is perspectives and environment. Measurement and process environment. Normally, measurement is useful for understanding the process and products, establishing a baseline, and last accessing and predicting the outcome. According to the maturity level of the process given by SEL, the type of measurement and the measurement program will be different. Following are the different measurement programs that can be applied to at each of the maturity level. Level first, ad hoc. At this level, the inputs are yield defined, while the output are expected. The transaction from input or input to output is undefined and uncontrolled for this level of process maturity. Baseline measurement are needed to provide a string point for measuring, and level second, repeatable. At the at this level, the input and output of the process, constants and resources are identifiable, a relatable A repeatable process can be described by the following diagram. So in diagram, this input measurement can be the size and volatility of the requirements. The output may be measured in terms of system size, the resources in terms of staff effort, and the constructions in terms of cost and schedule. Level third, defined. At this level, intermediate activities are defined and their input and outputs are known and understood. A simple example of the defined process is described in the following figures. The input and the output from the intermediate activity can be examined, measured, and assessed. So in this diagram, level 4, managed. At this level, the feedback from the early project activity can be used to set priority for the current activity and later for the project activities. We can measure the effectiveness of the process activities. The management reflect the characteristics of the overall process and the interaction among and across major activity. So in here, this diagram reporting requirement from the senior management, and level 5, optimizing. At this level, the measures from activity are used to improve the process by removing and adding process activity and changing the process structure dynamically in response to measurement feedback. Thus, the process change can affect the organization and the project as well as the process. The process will act as seniors and monitors, and we can change the process significantly in response to warning sign. At a given maturity level, we can collect the measurement for the level and all level below. Third, identifying the level of maturity that the organization has reached. Process maturity suggests to measure only what is visible. Thus, the combination of process maturity will GQM will provide most useful measures. At level first, the project is likely to have ill-defined requirement. At this level, the measurement of requirements characteristics of difficult. At level second, the requirements are well defined, and the additional information such as the type of each requirements and the number of changes to each type can be collected. And level 3, intermediate activity are defined with entry and exist criteria of for each activity. The goal and question analysis will be same, but the metric will vary with maturity. The more mature the process, the richer will be the measurements. The GQM paradigm, incorrect with the process maturity, has been used as the basis for several tools that assist managers in design measurement programs. GQM help to understand the need for measuring the attributes, and process maturity suggest whether we are capable of measuring it in a meaningful way. Together, they provide a context for measurement. And lecture is continue in second